Where are the aliens? That's one of the great Fermi paradox questions that humanity has been asking for decades, and recently it has taken on a chilling new dimension. Oumuamua, the strange object detected in 2017 passing through our solar system, has now returned. Elon Musk has revealed startling new information that has left the scientific community both fascinated and terrified. When it first appeared, Oumuamua, as it was called, was unlike anything we had ever observed. Less than a millimeter thin yet extremely wide, like a massive cosmic sail harnessing solar radiation to propel itself through the void. At the time, experts scrambled to explain it away as a comet or asteroid, but its behavior defied classification. It emitted no thermal signature, had no cometary tail, and its trajectory was far too precise for a natural object. Even more unsettling, it accelerated near the sun without any visible exhaust, suggesting propulsion of an unknown kind. Many believed it was a 1 in a million cosmic event, but now its return has shattered that fragile comfort. This time, Oumuamua is not alone. Back in 2017, we were amazed just to witness the first known interstellar visitor up close. We thought we were simply observing an odd rock from another star system, but the signs were there even then. The lack of thermal emissions, its odd elongated shape, its tumbling motion, and most of all the unexplained speed boost it gained near the sun. Looking back, that should have been our biggest clue. Instead, we watched as it passed through and disappeared, convinced we would never see it again. The trajectory made it appear impossible for Oumuamua to return. It was supposed to be gone forever. And yet, against all expectations, it is back. Even more disturbing, deep space tracking systems have revealed that it has not returned alone. Several objects accompany it, moving in formation. At first, some experts suggested they were fragments from Oumuamua itself, but their coordinated movement ruled out that possibility. Others speculated these companions were present during the first pass but went undetected. Yet why would they suddenly become visible now? The evidence points to something more sinister: intelligence. These objects are not drifting aimlessly. They are traveling with purpose. Elon Musk raised the question no one wanted to confront. What if Oumuamua was never just a rock at all, but an alien probe, a vessel checking our solar system for signs of life? And if so, its return, this time with a fleet, could mean humanity's first contact has already begun. It had found out about our existence, and now it was back with a fleet of other spaceships. The public at first dismissed the news as nothing more than a conspiracy theory, but the facts simply did not lie. The return of Oumuamua, when it should have been impossible for it to ever come back, combined with the arrival of these new objects, their planned trajectories, and coordinated movements, made one conclusion inescapable. Oumuamua and its companions were not random rocks drifting through space but were being controlled by some kind of intelligence. During its first encounter with our solar system, it had been pushed away from the sun by some mysterious force that even the most advanced scientists could not explain, and all the evidence we now had supported Elon Musk's theory that this was no ordinary interstellar object. Experts began openly considering the possibility that it was something built or guided by an alien civilization. The most powerful telescopes on Earth were placed on high alert to get a visual on Oumuamua as soon as possible, but what they showed was even more startling than anything the world was prepared for. The data coming back from these instruments was strange, confusing, and unlike anything they had ever observed before. When experts studied Oumuamua using the most advanced equipment available, they found that its surface was far smoother than should be possible, almost like the surface of a spacecraft rather than a natural rock. Instead of a jagged, rocky texture, it reflected sunlight as if it were made of a polished metallic sheet, confirming suspicions that this was something carefully engineered for interstellar travel. Its trajectory also raised alarms. Unlike its first visit, it wasn't moving in an arc to get a gravity assist from our sun but was instead traveling on a precise route that would bring it much closer to Earth. Was this a coincidence, or was it back with a fleet to conquer us? Experts were baffled, but then they noticed something even more terrifying. Unlike its first visit where it sped up and shot past the solar system, this time Oumuamua was slowing down. If it had been a natural comet, it should have been defying the laws of physics to slow like that. But it wasn't slowing fast enough either. Elon Musk and other scientists knew exactly what this meant. Someone was controlling this fleet. It was slowing down because it had reached its destination, our solar system, in a controlled entry similar to how our space shuttles slow down when entering a planet's gravity. Panic spread among experts and world leaders alike. Everything they were seeing indicated the possibility of first contact. Were they about to meet aliens for the first time, or was this still a coincidence beyond our understanding? Even skeptics began to doubt their stance when they saw the synchronized movements of the objects. While governments hesitated in bureaucracy, Elon Musk acted. He redirected SpaceX's Starship missions to intercept the incoming fleet with close-range observation probes, hoping not only to study them but also to facilitate communication. This unprecedented private mission bypassed the usual red tape that kept government agencies slow, and for the first time in history, it seemed a private individual might make first contact with an alien civilization. Meanwhile, world leaders debated whether these visitors were here to help humanity or harm it, with some military figures proposing offensive action. But Musk warned that even defensive measures could be misinterpreted as an act of war by such an advanced civilization. For now, the only option was to meet them and try to talk. When Elon Musk proposed that we should avoid escalating a peaceful situation into a hostile one, his reasoning was simple but profound. Communication was the best approach. If we made even the smallest miscalculation, humanity might doom itself before we ever truly met these visitors. Yet the dilemma was immediate and overwhelming. How could we talk to them? For all we knew, these aliens used a form of communication so advanced, so utterly foreign to us, that we might not even be capable of detecting it, let alone crafting a response. Just as humans might fail to explain radio waves to a rabbit, we faced the possibility that our languages and methods of transmission were entirely incompatible. But before this existential question could be resolved, a stunning new development shook the world, the first clear sighting. As the mysterious fleet, once referred to as Oumuamua, drew closer to Earth, telescopes finally obtained crisp images, and what they revealed was breathtaking. There were no natural rocks, no random debris, nothing resembling a comet or asteroid. Instead, experts could discern smooth surfaces, intricate ridges, and gleaming reflective panels. These were not cosmic accidents. They were machines, ships of alien origin, engineered with unimaginable precision. Overnight, all doubts and skepticism vanished. Humanity was staring at undeniable evidence of extraterrestrial intelligence, and with it came a terrifying realization. These beings were centuries, perhaps millennia, ahead of us technologically. Their craftsmanship was beyond our comprehension. No scientist on Earth could even guess what exotic material their vessels were built from, or how they managed propulsion without visible exhaust or fuel sources. It was clear, we were dealing with a civilization that humanity could not compete with in strength or knowledge. The only viable option was dialogue. Musk's proposal for peaceful communication immediately became the most logical course of action, not only because it was morally right but because any act of hostility would be suicidal. The question, however, remained unsolved. How do we initiate contact? The alien fleet had not transmitted any detectable radio waves, no visible attempt at communication, no electromagnetic pulses we could measure. Either they had not bothered to speak to us yet, or their method of communication was so advanced that we were effectively deaf and blind to it. With this in mind, Musk introduced a radical idea. Leave first contact not to politicians, not to generals, but to artificial intelligence. Human language, bound by limits of perception and emotion, might fail us in this crucial moment. An advanced AI system, coupled with the most sophisticated sensors ever created, could observe, learn, adapt, and respond faster than any human. By harnessing the flexible logic of AI, we might bridge the gap, whether the aliens communicated with patterns of light, mathematics, electromagnetic pulses, or concepts we had yet to even imagine. For Musk, this was not just pragmatic, it was visionary. Humanity's first ambassador to an alien civilization would not be a president or scientist, but a machine designed to learn and translate the untranslatable. Critics called it reckless, but to many, it felt like the only chance. The shuttle equipped for this unprecedented mission was prepared in record time. Inside it was Voyager X, a probe with advanced AI and quantum processing capabilities, capable of intercepting and analyzing even the strangest signals. Within weeks, the launch was carried out. Voyager X shot through space on a carefully calculated trajectory to meet Oumuamua's fleet. As it neared, humanity held its collective breath. What the probe's cameras revealed up close was unlike anything anyone had expected. The ship we had once dismissed as a tumbling rock was instead a work of breathtaking design. Wafer-thin yet massive in size, shimmering in sunlight like a cosmic sail harnessing solar radiation for propulsion. Even stranger, its entire body was carved seamlessly from a single block of unknown material. No seams, no bolts, no joints. It looked less like something built and more like something grown, sculpted with precision we could not replicate. The surface emitted faint wavelengths of light on its own, almost as if alive. Experts were stunned into silence. The deeper the scans went, the more unexplainable details emerged. Then came the first response. As Voyager X approached within range, one smaller ship detached itself from the fleet. Moving with elegance and precision, it positioned itself near the probe. Instead of destroying it or ignoring it, the alien vessel began to emit pulses of light. At first glance, it seemed random. But after rapid analysis, the AI detected a pattern: prime numbers. This was the breakthrough Musk had hoped for. The aliens weren't speaking words, but mathematics, the universal language. The AI responded with its own sequence of primes, and the alien craft answered in turn. For the first time in human history, a dialogue had begun. Not through sound, not through radio, but through logic. The world erupted in cautious optimism. If they had wanted war, they would have destroyed the probe immediately. Instead, they had reached out. Yet as this extraordinary communication unfolded, scientists discovered something even more unnerving. Data from Voyager X indicated that the alien fleet was sending signals, but not to us. They were transmitting to somewhere far beyond our solar system. Were they reporting back to their homeworld? Requesting instructions? Or signaling other fleets that might already be en route? Humanity could only speculate, but the realization was chilling. We were not just talking to a ship, we were possibly talking to the forward scouts of a much larger civilization. The gap in power was staggering. If these visitors already possessed technology capable of bending light, gliding without fuel, and communicating in patterns beyond our comprehension, what else might their kind be capable of? Were they benevolent explorers, or conquerors marking their next target? While leaders of nations argued in paranoia, Musk pushed forward. AI communication continued, but the more complex the dialogue became, the clearer it was that our current systems were insufficient. Patterns of light evolved into structures resembling fractals, geometric concepts beyond easy translation. Our AI could respond, but only crudely. The next step, scientists realized, was to incorporate quantum computing on a scale never attempted before. Only then could humanity hope to develop a shared language with the fleet. As this effort consumed the brightest minds on Earth, another event changed everything. One ship from the fleet broke formation and moved into Earth's orbital plane, just behind the Moon. Its very presence distorted space-time around it, warping instruments and bending physics in ways no human had ever observed. Then, for the first time, the alien craft sent a direct signal to Earth. But it was not radio, not light, not electromagnetic at all. The transmission was more like a thought, an idea impressed upon the mind rather than the ear. It defied all conventional description. Scientists compared it to receiving a concept without words, as if knowledge had been injected directly into awareness. The implications were staggering. The aliens were communicating in a way that bypassed language entirely. Understanding this signal became the top priority of every research institution on Earth. Yet when fed into our computers, the signal broke them. Quantum processors looped endlessly or crashed under the complexity. The few outputs that did emerge showed strange fractal-like structures, endlessly repeating patterns that seemed to encode meaning beyond comprehension. Was it a message, a test, or an invitation? Meanwhile, strange anomalies began to manifest across the Earth itself. The stars flickered unnaturally. The atmosphere experienced subtle shifts. Telescopes recorded disturbances in space around our planet. Then it became clear, these weren't accidents. They were part of the message. The aliens weren't merely sending signals. They were reshaping the environment around us to communicate on a scale we had never imagined. To respond in kind, Musk proposed a radical idea. Rather than reply with lights, waves, or words, we would transmit something equally fundamental: our own thoughts, encoded as neural patterns. By sending pure cognition, humanity might show intent without mistranslation. It was, in essence, meeting thought with thought. For the first time, humanity would not just be talking to aliens. We would be sharing the raw experience of consciousness itself. The moment approached that could forever alter human history, the first true conversation between worlds. The unexpected visitor had already shocked the world, but the bigger question was, how could humanity possibly send a message that such an advanced species would understand? That was where the new AI came into play. Using Neuralink technology, the AI was able to read and process the brain activity of volunteers, capturing their thoughts and emotions, then transforming those abstract neural patterns into a structured message. Once the transmission was ready, it was carefully sent toward the alien craft. At SpaceX headquarters, the entire team held their breath, praying that their efforts would be understood. To everyone's astonishment, the alien signal, which had been transmitting in a constant, indecipherable stream, suddenly shifted. It changed in real time, adjusting itself to match the very parameters of Earth's technology. For the first time, the alien broadcast could be read clearly. And the message was chillingly simple: you are not alone. The phrase struck both hope and fear deep into humanity's core. But that was only the beginning. Not long after this breakthrough, scientists detected another anomaly, this time at the edge of the solar system. Something enormous was moving toward us, far larger than Oumuamua and its fleet. The readings suggested a colossal structure, perhaps the mothership or the true force behind the probes. While experts debated this discovery, another shock came closer to home. Signals were suddenly detected from beneath the moon's surface. Humanity realized with horror that the moon itself might be more than a lifeless rock. Something hidden, perhaps placed there ages ago, had awakened in response to the alien arrival. Seismic scans confirmed strange activity beneath the lunar crust. Was it a probe? A machine? Or something alive? Then came the most terrifying transmission yet. The alien craft orbiting Earth sent a new message: we are coming. Whether it was a promise, a warning, or a threat, no one could say. Humanity was left with questions, fear, and the unsettling possibility that this was only the beginning.